Hello and welcome. I'm Ananda Suying, and this is my energetic oracle card reading for the week commencing the 10th of February 2025 for the collective. So I've used three decks. So from the first deck, which is from the Angels of Atlantis oracle cards by Stewart Pearce, we have three cards which give us the main sort of flavor or idea of energies which are coming in for us this week, or the challenges or the invitations, you could look at it as. And I have a card from Rebecca Campbell's The Rose Oracle, just really beautiful. And even though I'm not a tarot reader at all, I bought this deck because I found it very interesting. It's the Change Tarot, and it is for psychological and spiritual exploration. So it looks at it from the sort of deep subconscious, deep emotional and psychological position, yeah, from that perspective. So I find it very interesting when it goes into the explanation for those cards and why it may have come up. So I'm actually going to read it for you for that particular card. Okay, so I'm going to show you the three cards which come up from the Angels of Atlantis Oracle. The first one is Zafkiel, Surrender. And I did a reading for three people yesterday, and this came up a few times, and I think it also came up for me. So there we are. Second card is Gabrielle's Inspiration. And the third card is Transmutation, Michael. And the card from the Rose Oracle is The Wastelands. Yep, sustainability, slow down, tend to your garden. Otherwise it'll become like an arid, dried out plain here. Okay? So it sounds like very much about checking in on ourselves, making sure that we are taking care of ourselves as self-care. And the final card from the Change Tarot is the Ace of Wands. So it uses the traditional tarot imagery, but I will read you what it says because I think I find it very interesting, and hopefully it will help you. Okay, and I just find it quite nice bringing in a deck which perhaps isn't something that I often use, but from that perspective it may be really valuable to hear. Okay, so here we are. We've got Surrender, Inspiration, Transmutation. So I think it kind of says a lot, really. But we'll just go into it a little bit deeper. So you have Zafkiel and the card Surrender. So what does it mean? So what does surrender mean to you? And I suppose it's a relinquishing of control. I mean, in short, to me, it's a relinquishing of control. It takes a lot of faith. It takes a lot of guts sometimes to just to just let go for a little while and just see what happens. And in a sense, I think it couples quite well. The cards couple quite well with this. Are we running around too much? Are we, trying to make things right? Which is absolutely fine. But are we not? Are we resting enough? Are we taking time out to just breathe? Because with all the frenetic activity, I think for January, it certainly was for me, a lot of frenetic energy in my head, lots of things to do, and it was getting quite stressful at times. I had a huge list and had to tick things off. So I'm pretty whacked. Pretty whacked. And so we're asked, maybe it's time to just stop for a while, surrender. Take a day off, take a few hours off, and just go and walk in the woods. Just take time to breathe. If you haven't been going for any activities like yoga or tai chi or pilates, or even, you know, spending a bit of time getting your feet on the ground, being surrounded by nature, or just your own sort of meditation at home, then I think it is time to do that. Just drop everything. And then just trust that as you do that, you allow yourself to breathe. Breathe. And then we get inspiration coming in because we've taken a bit of time to just stop moving. And then you get all this insight, inspiration, maybe creative, artistic inspiration, whatever it is you need at that time. Perhaps as you surrender and meditate, you have an intention behind that, either to let your body rest, to let your mind rest, to let your emotions just dejangle themselves to, I need clarity, I need to know how to deal with this situation. And you can be sure you will receive some answers. Gabriel, Zavkiel, according to the Kabbalistic tradition, is the archetype of the highest divine feminine, and is in the second part of the tree of life from Metatron, goes to Zavkiel, feminine, and then Raziel, which is the masculine. Yeah. And then you have Gabriel to do with communication. Yeah. I suppose you could say the Hermes, like Hermes, the god of communication, going from the gods to the humans, from humans to the gods. Yep. So by taking a bit of time out and the surrendering, slow down, you allow all the whisperings of your own self come through, and also of your high self, and maybe your helping spirits. Yeah, if you believe in that sort of thing. But whatever it is, excuse me, it will bring you some answers and some idea of how you may like to proceed. And then the final card in the card of 3, Michael and transmutation. And if I'm not mistaken, that is Thoth. And Thoth, Hermes, Trismegistus, and I think Saint Germain, there are myths that they're all linked and they are the same person. Except what this soul has managed to do is rejuvenate its body, and therefore it's lived a long time. And according to some people, Hermes is well versed in the laws of creation. So there's a great understanding of how you create, what is needed so that you can create in matter, you can create at this scale, in this dimension. So transmutation is change, transformation, but it's more than just a transformation of say a snake, where it transforms when it sheds its skin, it transforms into a perhaps its new skin and a larger version of itself, so it can grow some more. Transmutation is it's more like energetic, where perhaps where there is sorrow, there is greater understanding, and it becomes acceptance and forgiveness. So the transmutation traditionally, I suppose, led into gold from suffering to, again, understanding to enlightenment. So for me, the transmutation is on so many levels. It's not just a physical transformation, and it is given by the angel Michael, which is also a great energy of protection, of release. Yeah. So we're also asked, I mean, as the surrender it might be to do with just, allowing yourself to release old things, again, old thought forms which are limiting, which don't serve you. And I'm going to read you the writing up for this one, because it might give us a little bit more insight into what's going on with regards to why we may be asked to surrender as well, besides taking time out to recover, yeah, and taking time out to breathe and just enjoy yourself and the surroundings. Yeah, So Ace of Wands. Though many folk interpretations associate the wands with action, I often think of them as representing the stuff that precedes action, the stuff that drives, motivates, and stimulates. The wand may involve an intuitive appraisal, an initial spark of response within us before we have time to overthink or repress unwanted feelings. So it brings a lot of understanding and insight. In many decks, wands are called staffs, which Jungian analyst Marie-Louise von Franz wrote is associated with, in open inverted commas, the way, and is a direction-giving principle in the unconscious closed. So that's a quote. Though often shrouded in dry and magical language, this is the stuff we often hope to work toward in a therapeutic or healing process, the hot, raw stuff that holds the potential for new life, new learning, and new ways of moving. So there we are. And that's your transmutation as well. Okay, so lots of good stuff, but it requires surrender. Surrender to yourself, to your body, which may be crying out for a bit of TLC and some time out. I just need to breathe and allow your whole body to breathe. And that's what frogs do. It seems that they breathe through their skin as well. Perhaps it might be quite a good thing to try out, for 5 minutes a day and then extending it. And you see what comes into your mind as a result. And I think, brings great inspiration, brings great insight. And it gives us the opportunity to easily transmute old stuff, and you become something new. And I wouldn't put a judgment on it. Oh, it was better in the old way. Who knows? But we need to choose. Yep, we need to choose. Is that what we want? And just to go for it. Okay. So thank you very much. I hope this was useful. And please give it a thumbs up if you found it useful. And I do one-on-one readings. I do them over Zoom. And I also do them in my house. I can travel if you like in London within a couple of miles radius, but I would charge for travel. Okay. So have a wonderful week and do subscribe, and I'll see you next week for the week after's reading. Okay, take care, love you all, and have a fantastic week. Bye for now.